Nev, the time has finally come. I got us 2 tickets to Mission Impossible.
But Mission Impossible?
Yeah.
Dude, read the freaking room. Look what I'm wearing. The only movie I'm gonna watch in this getup is Barbie. I'll see you in Barbie Land.
What do I do with the tickets?
I don't care.
Welcome back to the Real Talk Podcast, episode 94. I'm your host, Nathan, and I'm joined by the man himself, Matthew Neves, to my left.
Thank you.
And today we are going to be talking about Barbie. In case you haven't guessed from Neves' get up here.
Pink shirt, sunglasses. I was gonna wear the cowboy hat, but I realized how inconvenient that would be with the headset. So I kept that one off.
Guys, the wait is over.
Oh my god.
Barbenheimer is here.
It is.
And it's been one of the most exciting weekends for film fans that I could remember in recent history.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I feel like this is the best double feature we're going to be getting.
No, I think it's extremely like a very memorable double feature that in 10, 15 years you'll be like, yeah, I remember how much fun that was.
It was a great time. It brought people together. And you know what's even better? It wasn't a superhero film. It was two directors super passionate about what the fuck they were making.
God, yeah.
And isn't that kind of refreshing when that's what has led up to it? So for this episode, we're going to be talking about Barbie, and then the next episode, we're going to be talking about Oppenheimer, because I feel like both films deserve episodes on their own.
100%.
Obviously. Yeah.
100%. Yeah, this is the Barbie episode. Both films, amazing in their own right. I'll say it right off the bat.
Absolutely, I agree with you.
What an awesome weekend, and really, this weekend I fell in love with film all over again.
Same. I did a double feature with some friends. We saw Oppenheimer first, and then we saw Barbie.
Ooh, that's... If you could go back, would you do it in that order?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
I saw it the other way.
Yeah.
To be fair, I didn't see it the same day. So I saw Barbie Thursday night on premiere night.
Yeah.
And wow, people were excited. I mean, the theater, there's just like a bunch of girls dressed up and screaming and clapping when the title card came up. Mm-hmm. It felt like I was at an event. It didn't feel like I was just going to Cineplex. And it was so exciting. Mm-hmm. But I feel like after I watched Oppenheimer, man, I don't know if I was even ready for Barbie. Like after Oppenheimer, you just like,
Barbie's way more optimistic.
Yeah.
Which I think is why I think the contrast works better if you watch Barbie second versus first. Because I'm going to be honest, it's more just like a more hopeful type of feeling. Actually, I'm curious, before talking about the movie Barbie, what were your like general thoughts before walking into it?
Okay, well, the first time I hear a Barbie movie's coming out, I'm like, here we go.
Right.
Another IP getting ruined.
Yeah.
Right? But then I see the trailer, and it's very self-aware. It's very meta.
Yes.
And then I see it's Greta Gerwig. And I'm like, okay, if there's somebody to do it, it's Greta, right? Like, everything is lining up. Then I see the cast. I'm like, okay, we're going to get great performances. But even going into the movie, even though I've seen the trailer, I'm still like, where are they going to take this?
Yeah.
I still had that in my head, like, this could be an absolute bomb. Like, the trailer could be the best of the film. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it wasn't. And I saw an interview from, I think it was Margot Robbie saying, whatever you think this is going to be, it isn't. Yeah. And she's completely right.
Oh, yeah.
She's completely right. Like, I was blown away by the film, and my expectations were exceeded for sure. How about you?
Same here. I feel like right off the bat, like before getting into it, I was like, okay, if this is gonna go meta, I'm wondering how far.
Yeah.
Because a lot of films do that too. I'm comparing it to like Naked Gun, Airplane, the spoof era. But there was also an era within the Lego movie where I saw the trailer for that. And I'm like, oh, this doesn't look great. And then you watch the film and it's just like, it's got such a powerful message on top of these wonderfully executed jokes that just work every minute, you know? and Barbie falls more into the Lego Movie, I would say. I
Yeah,
feel like
100% does.
it
You're right.
it has that powerful message, powerful theme, a beautiful character arc from Margot Robbie's Barbie. You know, it's
Very.
again, like, this is coming from the Mattel branded Barbie toy line. It's like they could have easily made this the most like it could have been just like all those animated DVD movies that they
Yeah.
made. Like it would have just been just that, but they put a little bit more effort into it.
Yeah.
Greta Gerwig gave a shit, and she made something that was more universal, not just for little girls, but like older generations as well. They can resonate with this.
I think if you're a little girl and you watch Barbie, you don't know what the hell's going on.
I think you're gonna love it though. I mean,
I think you'll like. I mean, visually, it's so like the set design, everything about like the art style is amazing. It's captivating for kids. It's captivating for adults, and it's kind of unlike anything I've ever really seen on the big screen.
yeah.
But yeah, it's a really an adult film.
It takes these mature themes that nobody would have expected from this film, and
It's almost like I almost can't even believe that they let like them cover these themes with the Barbie IP. Like Mattel allowed this. You know what I mean?
well, there goes the like postmodernistic attitude towards it, the satire where it's like Will Ferrell's character plays the businessman,
Yeah.
the head CEO of Mattel. And it's just like there's the scene more closer to the end where I believe the mother is just like, why not a Barbie? That's just normal, like you know, just a mother and stuff like that. And Will Ferrell's like, that idea sucks. That would never sell. And one of the executives was like, oh, actually, it's gonna make a ton of money. He's like, oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I could totally picture Greta Gerwig saying this story to like Warner Brothers, Mattel, and they're being like, fucking what? It's not gonna make money. It's like, well, she did win an. Oh, I mean,
Yeah, honestly, I would love to be there for the pitch meeting.
Yeah.
It had to be a tough one, and I'm sure that Mattel maybe didn't see it right away. But I'm so glad this has got made.
Yeah.
What an awesome movie.
It's perfect. It's so, oh my god! Right when the movie starts, the acting is this perfect balance of like super optimistic, super happy-go-lucky, but also, oh, we're gonna turn this. It's like, hey, Barbie. It's like everyone's waving, everyone's smiling. The music is even like a joke because of the lyrics. They change because
Yeah.
of the visuals. And
Yeah,
it's just like,
Lizzo just like
oh my
changing
God.
lyrics on the spot. Like, how amazing is that?
because you don't think about that. You're just like, yeah, it's dijag, non-dijag. So no, you can have fun with these concepts of filmmaking.
Yeah.
That I'm glad that this film was able to do. a lot.
Yeah, they just go outside the box because they can. It's a Barbie movie. Have fun with it. Break the rules. I mean, there is no rules.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, it even like pokes fun at the fact that like whenever like Barbie is driving, like from a technical perspective, it's like, yeah, no, she's not. She doesn't need to touch the fucking wheels. Like it's a Barbie car. She doesn't need to eat food or anything like that. It's just pretending because she's a toy. They're all toys, so it's like the world of that we never really saw, like you said.
No,
It's kinda cool.
It's so clever.
Production design, 10 out of 10.
Oh, 10
my
out of 10.
God.
I mean, yeah, I made that a talking point here. The
Yeah.
art style and the set design throughout the entirety of the film, like all of those Barbie Land set pieces
Yeah.
are just amazing. The beach one, like the Barbie's dream house, even when Ken takes over and they kind of switch the sets.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
It's so good, man.
Now, we did talk briefly about like, well, the story is basically, let's debrief it.
Yeah.
The story is basically about how Barbie is like in Barbie Land, everyone's having a great time, and then she starts thinking about a lot of mature themes, and that's kind of what people are like, what the fuck? And then even herself is like changing, and she's like, why am I, you know, I'm not, I don't feel comfortable in these high heels. I feel like I'm more human and stuff. I don't want to. And she basically goes on this journey to find the person that is playing with her toy self in the real world and trying to understand more about life and humans and just the flaws and a lot of complexities, to say the least. And during that time, you know, characters like Ken also learn a lot about the real world.
Yeah.
Which
Oh,
I did
man.
not expect it to go that direction, but I'm so glad it did.
I
Because it opens a whole new door.
Yeah.
So you have Ken learning about that side of it. You have Barbie learning about the very emotional side of just humanity in general and just girls like what they've dealt with in society.
Yeah.
And you also have Will Ferrell, the business guy, the Mattel, very much like the satirical.
It's like very cartoony, like
Yeah.
CEO.
And then you also have the mother and daughter relationship of the person who Barbie's the toy. You know?
Which I love that dynamic too. It's got so many plot lines
Yes.
working for it, and they all kind of work together in this
Yes.
very nice harmony.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just works incredibly well. Let's get into performances because
Oh yeah.
there's a lot of performances I really love here.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you start me off with your favorite performance?
This is Margot Robbie's best performance. I'm just gonna say that.
Margot Robbie, who has, I mean, one of the most amazing filmographies.
Yeah.
Lately. Like,
Oh yeah.
She doesn't miss. She's been a part of some of the biggest films ever,
Yep.
and she kills it almost all the time. She's one of the best actresses working today.
Exactly.
Period.
Yeah.
She kills it. She's. I don't think they could have cast a better person for Barbie.
Mm-hmm.
She completely understood the role
Yeah.
and played it so perfectly. She's great. But I think my personal favorite performance goes to Ryan Gosling
Ryan Gosling as Ken.
because he made me laugh out loud.
Yeah.
The most of the film. And that's another talking point is I laughed more than I thought I was going to laugh.
Yeah.
Much more than I thought I was going to laugh. In fact, I don't remember laughing this much in a long time in the theaters.
This is a funny.
This is an extremely funny movie.
This is really funny.
And it goes from, it'll go from one of the funniest scenes in the film to one of the deepest scenes in the film
Yeah.
to back to another funny scene. And it just, things are moving so quickly.
And it
I love
doesn't-
the pacing.
And it doesn't feel like Whiplash either. It feels like
No.
the pacing is like the editing of this film is really good. Like the way they handle so many scenes just side by side works really well. And I do agree that Ken is the funnier character than Barbie. Also shout out to Alan, played by Michael
Oh,
Cera.
shout out to Michael Cera. Anytime he's on screen, I'm laughing.
Dude, they cut to him literally just standing there, and I'm laughing because this guy is a legend. He's a
yeah.
fucking legend.
First of all, it's Michael Cera, so his face says it all. He doesn't need to say it. Not like he has many lines in this movie.
no.
But all they got to do is cut to him for comedic relief. He doesn't even have to have a line.
Yeah.
You just cut to him in the scene and you get that comedic relief like instantly. He's amazing. And I want to see him in more stuff.
Oh, he's great. I would say though, like for me, like Ken, all the Kens, hilarious. Will Ferrell, hilarious. Michael Cera, hilarious. But I feel like with Margot Robbie, she balances the comedy and emotions so much better.
Yeah.
It's that sense of like. The only thing I can really compare it to is like, because I'm just thinking about it recently, is like Gene Wilder and Willy Wonka, where it's just like you have that comedy, but where do you get the heartfelt moments in? She blends it so well. And
So
it's
well.
it's so hard to do shit like that, especially like whenever she's like crying and stuff like that. I feel so bad for her because she's like, when the little girl's like talking mean to her and calling her a fascist, like you could tell that, like her whole world is like
Yeah.
being destroyed, like mentally speaking, and it's just like, damn.
I
like-
know it's so hard to show emotion like that, and
Yeah.
it's so hard to show emotion like that, but also still be Barbie.
Yeah.
So she does toe the line there perfectly, and like you said, I mean, she's perfectly cast, and it's one of her best roles, 100%.
Oh yeah, I really enjoyed it. Everybody else's performances were pretty spot on. There was no duds. Like honestly, like everyone knew what they were doing. Everyone read the script. Everyone was like, oh yeah, we know what we're gonna do. We're gonna have so much fucking fun with it, and everyone in the film looks like they had so much fun.
Right? It looks like you're almost watching like sketch comedy at times, but done in such a perfect way. Like everybody's having a lot of fun.
And that's the thing too, is like when I was watching it, I was like, okay, this has a lot of those. My favorite type of humor is like the airplane. It's like the Naked Gun, where it's just like, oh look, we're like Barbie's like flying or going down slowly and stuff, and then the next time you see her, she falls and stuff. It's like these visual gags that work really well. But the moment that I realized this film is just more than that was the scene where they go to the real world and Barbie is alone, sitting on a bench with an old lady, and she's just looking around and seeing humans.
Yeah.
Just humanity. And there's this beautiful song, beautiful score composed on top of it, and she's feeling emotion for the first time. and she's taking all this in, and that's when I knew. I was like, oh, this film is more than just like a one-off gag of
Yeah.
like, oh, look, it's Barbie. Look how fucking weird Mattel was making these toys and the experiments that they did, which apparently all of those designs that they did with the Barbies are legit. Like,
Yeah,
they
which is
sold it.
crazy too. Like
Yeah, poking
the
fun at
Barbie
that.
Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's like, the Super Mario Brothers movie. Like the way that had Easter eggs every
Yes.
minute thrown at you. But it's like, I mean, Barbie.
This
I guess
was
I
more
didn't get some of
cynical.
them.
This was
and
more
they were
cynical
more
with it.
cynical
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
But they were sure to like if you are a real Barbie fan and you know the history,
Yeah.
then I'm sure you see a ton of Easter eggs that you probably didn't expect to see in this movie.
Yeah. So I like the fact that it went that direction of the emotions because like once you see that scene, it's a very beautiful, beautiful scene. It comes back at the end of the movie.
Yeah, that scene. I mean, it's so emotional, but it's not the height of the emotion in this movie, and that's what I love.
Yeah.
They go once after that happens, they go back and forth with these
Yeah.
funny scenes of like, these funny situational scenes of like what would Barbie be like in the real world, but then the realities of like,
Yeah.
Barbie in the real world and seeing how flawed the real world is.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that kind of builds to this moment where we meet the creator of Barbie,
Yes.
which
we do.
in probably the heaviest scene of the film.
Holy shit. It is.
Let's talk about that. What are your thoughts on that scene?
Oh man, it choked me up. Like literally,
Yeah,
that
seriously.
that film got me. It's basically Barbie choosing whether or not she wants to remain perfect and flawless and doesn't have to worry about change in her life at all. Hence why she's the stereotypical Barbie, or she chooses to be human, showing the flaws within humans and learning and aging and death and life and all these very heavy subject matters. She chooses humans. And I feel like that's the most powerful thing about this film.
It is.
And it's something that I feel like is not only resonates with little girls and women, but it's just a universal thing of like choosing to be humans.
Yeah.
Humanity in and of itself, we're complex people.
For sure.
Very much so. And it's so nice when we all come together and agree on that and understand each other, or at least try to learn from each other, because that's how we get through life, is having conversations, talking
Yeah.
to each other, understanding one's problems, and trying to search for success amongst ourselves. It's teamwork. This is a beautiful film illustrating that. And if there's one thing you should get out of Barbie, it's that.
I completely agree.
Yeah, two guys talking about Barbie.
Two guys drooling over Barbie. This movie, I don't know. It's so good.
It's so good.
It's so good. I'm considering seeing it again in theaters, which is crazy. All this stuff out in theaters right now. It's such an exciting time to love movies right now.
Yeah.
If you're like one of those people who goes to the movies 2-3 times a year, make it a point to go see these movies out right now. Barbie, Oppenheimer, and show some love to Tom Cruise with Mission Impossible.
Oh, that film literally dropped like so much money after. Well,
Yeah.
it's just bad timing on the studio. That's on
honestly
them.
just bad timing, I
Yeah.
think. But Greta Gerwig really showed that she has range as a director, incredible range as a director.
Absolutely.
This movie really shows that she can do any genre of film.
I know we briefly skimmed through it. Can we talk about Ken?
Yeah.
Can we talk about Ken and how amazing they illustrated like Ken? I don't know how to describe it other than when Ken overtakes BARBIELAND and all that shit happens. It's the visual equivalent of like a big brother kicking their sister out of like the treehouse.
Yeah.
It is so, but like it's also like you think about it and you're just like, wait, this kind of applies to adults too. And that's when it starts to hit you even more, where you're just like, oh yeah, people act like this is a very common thing.
I know. It's almost like this double entendre, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like like almost childish the way they're doing it.
Yeah.
But it is a real life like thing that happens with
Yeah.
adults, just in a more like, sophisticated way.
Mm-hmm. It's a good wake up call. I love
I
that.
agree. This movie has scenes that are literally wake up calls.
Yeah.
And it's the last thing you're expecting out of a Barbie movie. I was just expecting a fun, funny, self-aware movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I get this movie that's really like, challenging like what society is right
Yeah.
now, and it's crazy. It's crazy that you get that all in one.
And it doesn't ham fist it. It doesn't like
No.
it's never in this film does it feel preachy. It feels like every moment is for characters to try to understand more about not only themselves but other people.
Yeah.
And realizing that, yeah, Ken, kind of being a dick, kind of being an asshole, But it's learning from that I feel like is the biggest thing, because they don't treat Ken as like the evil person, like I'm evil, I only hate.
No.
hate. It's like, no, he doesn't know.
He's just influenced.
Yeah, exactly. It's easy to be influenced when it's you get into the real world as a toy doll. Yeah.
Man. It blows my mind. I feel like I still haven't even processed this film, and how good it was, and how blown away I was. Like, I just wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
And I love when a film surprises you like that.
No, it's great. It's a breath of fresh air.
Let's talk about what we don't like.
Okay.
Is there anything? What do you got? If you had to critique or change some stuff, where do your critiques lie with this film?
I feel like the first half, there's a specific joke that I've noticed in a lot of films. It's the talking really fast and explaining what the plot or story structure of a movie is, and that's how you lead into the next scene for comedic effect. I feel like this movie isn't the only one that has done it. It's a very common thing, especially for like satirical comedies and postmodernistic parodies, whatnot. So this film does it like mainly in the first half, where it's just like, oh yeah, we're gonna do a musical song number, dance sequence, and stuff like that. And it's like, that's the joke. The joke is that we are explaining what's gonna happen in the next scene to you.
Yeah.
It happens a few times, and I'm just like, okay, like, to me, that's a cheap gag. I would prefer the gags where you're developing these characters and the story. So, for example, a great joke would be like Barbie drinking water, and she's just like, "Oh, usually there's no liquid
nothing in here." Yeah,
self-realization.
that's a great gag. Yeah,
you get
that one made me laugh.
Yeah, and you get a comedic effect like that, but you also get the comedic effects where it's like Barbie and Ken with their rollerblades, going down, and people are like,
beach,
they're whistling at Barbie and stuff like that. And she's like, "Why am I don't feel, I don't feel comfortable anymore." It's just like
The funniest part is like Barbie, like, "Oh, thank God, a construction site."
yes,
she's
exactly.
she's expecting to
Oh
see
my
all
God.
women there.
Yeah. No, it's great because it's not only a great joke, a great payoff, but it also is just like great commentary.
Yeah, those are
So,
some of my favorite bits in the movie.
I like those jokes. So
And yeah, this movie does have some jokes that didn't land for me. It has
Yeah.
a ton of jokes. It's packed with jokes.
yes.
It's really packed with jokes, and I laughed at a ton of them. But some of them I saw even like in the theater in general, like didn't land.
No.
But that's part of it. And my other critique is maybe you could shave like 10 minutes off this film.
Really?
10, 15 minutes off
Okay.
this film. Closer to the, I don't know, maybe closer to the end. I think there's some editing that could have been done, but that's really it, man. I'm nitpicking. I
Yeah.
really love this movie.
Same. I feel like, yeah, when it comes to like that specific joke, it's more just like nitpicks. But for the most part, like, if I wasn't a fan of that joke, you get like 4 good ones on top of
Yeah,
that.
I know some people were critiquing. Some people like I watched Chris Stuckman's review.
Okay.
He didn't like Will Ferrell in it.
Really?
Isn't that interesting? He thought the Mattel stuff, like he thought the Mattel like scenes didn't really land for him.
Okay.
Personally, I did. I always kind of like Will Ferrell. I know people are kind of split on Will Ferrell. Some people don't
Yeah.
think he's very funny, and I always have.
Yeah, same.
But I worked for me. It worked for me.
I feel like his role in Barbie was more. I would say it's on par of the Lego Movie, of
Yeah.
like the President Business, whatever. In fact, they're very
In fact, they're
similar.
Yeah.
The
It's
only
like live action Lego movie.
well, he was also live action in the Lego Movie.
Oh, yeah,
The
yeah.
only difference is he had a red tie in Lego Movie,
And
and
this
here he has a pink
slightly
tie.
pink. Yeah.
I do think his character gives more commentary on like business and like how it's like, no, we care about Barbie. We had like 2 women, I think, who were head CEOs of Barbie in the 60, 70 years we've worked.
Oh, that's a great
So
bit.
that counts. And it's just like, oh man, how relatable that is for amongst CEOs of businesses that act like they're very like inclusive and
Yeah.
it's like okay, Will Ferrell. It's like I like that.
Yeah. He definitely does a great job of playing that. And I feel like the movie needed a cartoony CEO. Like it couldn't be a guy playing Mattel serious. Like the
No,
movie
it wouldn't have been
needed
as
a-
interesting.
No, it
No.
needed a cartoony CEO. Like one of my favorite jokes is like when he gets to Barbie Land and he sees the pregnant Barbie. And
Oh
he's
yeah.
Like,
Oh
I
jeez.
thought we discontinued
I thought
you.
we discontinued you. Yeah. And that's the thing too, is like we said briefly, it's like Mattel pokes fun at itself in this movie. It's like, yeah, like yeah, we made some weird toys in our
Yeah.
past. But I'm glad that they can poke fun at it.
That's what I
because-
love about it. They took the IP, but they didn't have to. They didn't, make the IP so serious and sacred. They could make fun of it. They can laugh about it. They can talk about how Barbie has evolved.
Yeah. Because it is like a commercial, but it's one that could have been so like, wow, we're doing another one, guys. We're doing another like, it's like Lego Movie. People thought Lego Movie was gonna be like, oh, it's just a commercial movie, and then you watch it and it's like, oh wow, I actually feel emotions, and it's a beautiful message.
Yeah. Like we understand how bad this movie could have been.
Yeah.
Because there's lots of examples with lots of other huge IPs out there.
Oh my God, yeah.
And in today's day and age, this is so refreshing and cool to see.
Absolutely. And you know what? I think we've said enough. If I talk more emotionally about this film, I'm gonna
Yeah,
choke up.
seriously.
I choked up over the Barbie movie. So if you want to know,
I know.
how intense it is, that's how good it is. But I guess final thoughts, Nathan, and your rating.
Final thoughts and rating. My final thoughts are: you gotta go see Barbie. I know what you're thinking. Maybe you're like, a Barbie movie. I would never watch that in my life. I don't consume any Barbie content. Me neither. This movie is amazing.
Yeah.
You gotta go see it. Trust me, it is not whatever you think it is. It's not. My rating out of 10, I'm going to give Barbie a solid. I'm gonna give Barbie a solid 7.5 out of 10.
7.5 out of 10. All right. I enjoy Barbie. Y'all should watch it. Bring your families. I'm not even kidding. I feel like this is a great family film. I feel like this is a movie that really it's something that like people would think about a lot.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like the themes are way more mature than people would assume a Barbie film would have.
100%.
It really hit the heartstrings, and yeah, I don't know. I've never played with a Barbie in my life, but
Me neither.
I think this is a film that really holds a lot of weight to it.
Yeah.
Not just as the IP, but just as a great fucking story.
Yeah, it's funny. We've never, like you said, we've never played with Barbies, but
Yeah.
I somehow related to this movie a ton.
Damn, yeah. Fucking A. I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. I feel like this is a solid fucking movie, one of the best of the year.
Yeah,
Don't miss it.
it is.
Fucking hilarious. Funny, beautiful, heartfelt, emotional.
To me, this is the best a Barbie movie could be.
Yes. Oh,
That's it. Thanks for watching this episode of the Real Talk Podcast. Let us know your thoughts on Barbie in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to your boys. And we'll catch you in the next one. Look out for that Oppenheimer review. Take care. Brush your hair.
Peace.